Welcome to Creators Light, your podcast for life design and self-leadership inspiration to create again light within you, to connect you with the light around you and to contribute with your light to the world. My name is Sarah Baltos and I'm your host in this podcast with the big vision to connect people around the world again with their creative potential and their own light, to accompany them to design their own lives, living their own dreams, and to get out of all kind of limitations, becoming the creators of their own life. In less than 2 weeks, we are closing this year 2019, and today I want to invite myself and as well you to make a review of your 2019 and of my 2019 too. This December really forced me to slow down with a heavy cold last week, and I'm still recovering from it. And I know that it does have a purpose. The purpose to finally slow down and really take some time to close a big year. And do you know this feeling that you hear you're saying, this December will be definitely different. I will take it more easy. I am going to enjoy this pre-Christmas time. And in the end, it turns out to be the most busiest and fullest and totally packed time of the year. And this was about to happen to me too. And really, literally, my whole body put a stop on it. And yes, there are open tasks I wanted to do, but one most important one for me right here, right now, is to really share with you a tool, a ritual, mostly a ritual, I am using consciously to close 2019. So welcome to my review of 2019 with the invitation to create, to take some time for you to create your review of 2019. So let's take a look back together to see how far you have come and what you have learned along the way, what you can appreciate for this year and would love to create in 2020. Looking at where you have come so far and what you have accomplished, and to use this as well to help to really visualize where you want to go next year. And I like to do reviews based on what really happened this year. And it's great to ask yourself how your year has been in general and how you feel. But often we're in a general review, we are totally missing very important parts, which can be one of the most important clues for the creation and the visualization for everything what we are heading to. And that is why we should also look at what really made a difference in your year this year. And therefore, I want to share with you a personal method I got taught one day to really to cluster or to divide the year in 4 different perspectives, or to look at the year, to review the year from 4 different point of view. And the first one is to put the focus on your accomplishments, on everything you have done so far. The second one, what have been your biggest lessons of this year? What did this year taught you? Where have you been able to grow? Then on your feelings, how did you feel and how what is your emotional, basically your emotional state regarding 2019. And last but not least, what has been missing out, and as well what is next, what is next for you, what can come into your life. And to start with the very first point, the accomplishments, I want to really ask yourself, or I want to take you with me on the journey with some questions which I did ask myself too. And the first question I set for myself is, what kind of challenges or obstacles have I overcome? And what do I have accomplished in this year? And in this sense, I'm starting, for me, it is very much easier than to look at it generally, to go through every month and ask myself, what did I do? What did I overcome? And what real results have I achieved? And the reason I'm asking myself to consider all these questions together is because frequently, and that might happen to you, you may not realize, and I might not realize too, how significant as well all the details towards accomplishments really are. And it's not just about results. It's about the path and about the person you became on this path. And often, and that's especially what happens to me, I'm often so focused on the results in the end. And this is exactly what is leading me often, or in my past years, to so much frustration. And as well this year, but it finally, and this came to me while really reviewing this. It came to me as the biggest lesson to understand that it's not about the results, but it's about the person I am converting myself to, and all the growth. And and if you have accomplished something or created something, you really deserve to recognize it and to give yourself credit for it and to practice it with gratitude. And here I want to just mention to you one thing I started to establish this year, with starting this year getting live or going live Sundays in the first beginning of the year on Instagram and Facebook with my Sunday Connection, where we practice gratitude, celebrate successes, and meditate, create some consciousness together. And this helped especially me to be more conscious about the mini steps I'm taking and about all the accomplishments throughout gratitude I was creating in my life. And for all of you who would love to be part of that, who would love to be part of the monthly Sunday Connection, I'm still continuing doing, and now in my free Facebook community, you're super welcome. I leave you I'm going to leave you the link in the show notes so you can register and we can practice this together, because I know it is a total game changer. So, and in this sense, I want to really invite you to look over, to really write it down month per month. What have you accomplished? What have you, what did you overcome? And then in the end, to look over this list you're writing, and to mark what is the most important on this list. What are the top 3 accomplishments, and what really sums up for your year. And I like to mark them as well. And to this year, basically, this year, I want to share with you my biggest accomplishments in the following way. First of all, and starting my 2019 life gifted me and my family, my whole family, one of the biggest challenge with the news that the cancer of my mom extended after it was pretty stable, and after as well 15 years of ups and downs, but mostly stability. And this really, really, really hit me so hard, that I said, okay, wow, I'm just heading to Germany for 6 weeks in the beginning of the year, even though we had different plans with my husband. But it was such a calling. It was such a calling. And that it was exactly as well one of the moments where I had planned to start my first online program, which I was just finishing to start with this and to make the first, to give it out to the market for the first trials and for the first testimonies. And everything came together. Literally everything came together. And in this very instant moment, I want to mark in this review of my year that this was the biggest challenge for me to on the one hand side, to prioritize what is really important for me, which is my family, but on the other side as well, to have my own motor and my own how can I say, purpose or sense in life building up, because the one and the other thing were so immensely important to be combined, because throughout this time it gave me as well the strength to move forward and to have a perspective, and to as well to show my mom that I am having a vision in my personal life. And so this was like the first biggest challenge for me to really face this health situation in my family again, even though I have been living with this most of my a long time of my life. But to manage it and to put the priority on that was an amazing important lesson for me to really prioritize what is important, what is really important right here, right now. Then, as a second big accomplishment, was the launch or the test run of my 2 online coaching programs with students from all around the world in English and Spanish. And for me, it was one of the biggest accomplishments to step out with my own product. Mostly all my life, I was having a job, or I was selling some other product, or I was promoting another coach or another program, but promoting myself, believing in the quality of my coaching, my competences has been such an accomplishment. And it's not about how much I sold or how many people I was able to reach so far. It was about sharing the message and connecting with people from different continents, from Asia, from Europe, from North America, from South America, and just doing it and really allowing myself to to earn the first money in interchange of all my services for my own product. And it was such a game changer. So and this is related as well to the achievements I did in my personal business journey to keep this moving, to keep to get out with my product even before I had my website, and to start to share my story, my purpose, and then to continue with the website, and as well with realizing one of my biggest dreams this year, to start my own community and to launch my own podcast. And this is really, really big for me, because it was such an internal challenge of giving myself the permission to share my truth, to share my story, and to connect people, and to start connecting people again. So this was the second biggest accomplishment. And the third one is my health. This year, really, life was teaching me a lot of lesson. And this year, in the middle of this year, I was dealing with some physical conditions which I totally have never expected in my life to come up, which has invited me to a whole journey of healing, with a really tough, but on the end, beautiful experience of different self-discovery processes. Even though I thought, man, I have done already so much in my last years of purpose journey and healing and coaching and everything, that this year life invited me to step up to a whole nother level, and mostly to really understand the power of my energy system, as well the power of my the family constellation system. And it was a beautiful journey throughout chakra healing processes, yoga, meditation, as well as the Vedic astrology combined with this silence retreats. And and this combined as well with the constant growth of my business side, which I combined literally with a coaching I'm doing as well in digital marketing. And but one of the biggest messages I took out from a coach who was accompanying me in this process was to allow myself to see my life as a wheel again. And it's not about it's not about to just to focus on only or basically the success is evaluated of being able to have a flowing and rolling wheel of life. And this was the biggest lesson for me, because I focused so much the last years on my business, so much on the business. And so that health and well-being and as well family came short. So when you ask me, and that's the second point, what have I learned? What have I learned, guys? And this is a question I want to give back to you. What did you learn, and how have you changed? And starting again in January, and to work constantly forward, this questions really seems to surprise myself a lot. And maybe it may surprise you too, that especially while it sometimes feels like basically the time has just ran by, and everything went so fast, and sometimes we feel we haven't changed at all. But when we allow ourselves to really look, what have I learned, and take a moment to reflect, I tell you, you as well will realize that you have learned and grown in so many ways that you maybe could have never imagined it when the year began. And this is exactly what happened to me. We are always aware mostly of big changes in life, or yeah, biggest turnovers and major life experience, but allowing us to think step by step, month from month, and as well to look at the small interactions during the year. Let me tell you that there are so many changes which are the major forces in our change in life, in our big change in life. And that's what really I learned, that life is not based, or the yeah, the in the end, it's not based on the results. It's about, and again I come to this point, that it's about what I learned on the past, what the past really taught myself. And all these little experiences made me who I am right now, and are giving me the wisdom to really make new life choices as I'm moving forward. And again, I want to invite you to write it down month per month. What is the most important, life lesson you have made this 2019? What are your top 3? What is really valuable, what have been really valuable in your 2019? And in my story, there has, or I want to summarize as well, especially in my case, the lesson of faith and trust. And the lesson of faith and trust started with the first months in 2019, really having to trust life. I think in my family, we all have been so shocked that we didn't know what this year will bring us. And this was a lesson life taught me throughout the whole year, in all areas, in all the big 3 areas, in terms of family, in terms of my business, and in terms of my own health, to really trust the process, to have faith, and to ride on the ocean of life, and really to allow myself to not always want to control everything I want in life. I mean, it is especially the lesson of trusting, of having faith, and letting go of control, because I really learned that it's not, a lot of things are not in my hands. And I was so stressed. So that is one of my biggest lessons. Then the second biggest lesson is to get out there serving, and really asking as well for, or basically allowing myself to be visible, and to share my story, and to just do it. Even though it is not perfect yet, even though I might have not built my website yet perfectly, or my system isn't ready yet, but just to start, and to allow yourself to impact one soul with your message. And this is my second biggest lesson, to just do it. To just do it. And if it's with mistakes, but to do it and to learn from it on the path, and to really allow yourself to allow myself to share a higher purpose. And the third one is to facing all my fears, emotions, and taking the decision to start a new journey of healing, practicing a whole bunch of acceptance, which was one of the biggest challenges for me, to ask for help and to not postpone prioritizing, to postpone prioritizing. Our ego sometimes, and my ego has been so strong, that for a long time it was mostly business, do something, do. And life taught me this year that in my personal case, it's more about, in my personal story, in my personal journey, it's more about being than doing. And this is exactly the third lesson, to really face the fear of emotions and as well the ego in there, and to take the decision to prioritize my being, my healing. And this is exactly what leads me now to the third question I am asking myself in closing my year this year, is how did I feel, and how satisfied I am about 2019, about all these live sessions, about all this all this journey basically. And I want to share with you this third question too, with the invitation to really write it down again, to write down what have been your feelings. How did you feel? How satisfied are you right here, right now, with this year, with your experiences, with everything we were just reviewing together in the first two steps? And remember, don't basically consider this has to do with reviewing harshly in black and white what you have accomplished. It is about to recognize that it's how you feel about your journey, about your personal growth, and to really take the importance to consider what you have overcome this year. How have you handled situations in life? What have you learned? How did you get to a certain point? And what have you been able to take with you along the way? And ask yourself, how do you really feel about all these accomplishments and about all these lessons? How do you really rate yourself? How do you rate this year emotionally? And how satisfied are you with basically these opportunities to to grow and to advance in life? And I have to tell you that it has been, and when I look at this question, how do I feel about it, how satisfied I am, it has been one of the most challenging years in my whole life. And I thought that I have already climbed the highest mountain and have crossed the deepest sea. But this year has been quite a ride. And my biggest question from the beginning on was, how do I find balance in all this? And how do I find balance in my purpose journey and business construction, being there for my international family life, and on the same time taking care of my own mental, physical, and emotional health. And it was such a roller coaster ride, and we went beyond my limits, and the absolutely feeling of being overwhelmed by all these challenges. And on the same time, I'm amazed by my personal growth in handling all this together, in being right now here and being able to tell you this, to share this with you. And I really became aware of the importance to find more balance between what is really important for me and finding balance in my wheel of life and accepting that life is our very best teacher. And when we listen closely to it, to the lessons, to the past, to the accomplishments, it gives us a lesson and answers for our perfect growth. And I'm really feeling satisfied and proud with everything I did so far, especially because of the challenge I was facing parallel, and I'm facing right now. I'm deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for the company of my beautiful husband and my family and all the amazing people who were supporting me on this path, and as well crossing my path this year, whether on Facebook or on Instagram. I'm deeply, 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 deeply grateful. And so my satisfaction is in the end very, very high. I'm full of gratitude, and I'm connected with the faith and the confidence that I am guided. And even though I haven't yet found the balance, and I feel that there will never be a moment and the feeling in life that everything is perfectly in balance, but trusting life that it's balancing out the different areas, because I was so focused on business, so that life brought me all this family and health topics this year, so that I can again find balance in all areas in life. And the last question I want to share with you, asking myself now, is what's next for me? What is maybe missing, and what is it what I would like to create? And we have right now considered in this whole context what you have overcome, what you have accomplished, what you have learned, and really what kind of changes have you faced. And now it is the question, what is basically now the conclusion out of all this for the next step? And therefore, I want to share with you 3 questions I'm asking myself. Is as well, okay, knowing what I have accomplished, what I have learned, how I'm feeling, what is it what I haven't been able to do yet? No, and I say it really, really consciously, what have I not been able to do yet? No, and I want to take it as an invitation to not see what you haven't done yet, but mostly what you're able to do now, to do now in the next steps. As well, what were you unable to spend enough time on this year? No, what basically has been not in the life prioritization this year? And what is it what you would like to prioritize in the upcoming years? And what are the big goals and dreams you would like to achieve in 2020? And especially, I want to invite you again to especially consider the challenges you have to overcome as an indication of what you're really capable of and what kind of opportunities are behind these challenges. What kind of opportunities can you find behind? And this is one of the biggest life learnings, which I shared this year so much with my students and my coaches, is that behind every challenge there is an opportunity for us to learn and to grow. And in this regard, understanding that every new beginning comes as well with an ending. How can we use this end of the year as the fresh beginning of something else, as a fresh start, as an opportunity, more opportunities to now accomplish your goals? And this is something, I found in one of articles. I found one beautiful quote from Don Williams Jr., who was saying, "Yet our lessons come from the journey, not the destination." And sometimes life is, for example, I had a lot of goals for my business this year, and I understand that maybe it wasn't the time yet for all this. And it's mostly about understanding that it's not only about the destination or the goal, it's especially about the journey. And for me, I understood that really everything has its time then, and it's about prioritizing what now is very important for me. And what this year taught me is that it is my health and my family life. Because when this is in balance, and when this is I'm focusing this on, then I'm able to give back, and to give back to life even more of my purpose, and I'm even more able of serving others. And it's for me about finding the joy in this moment, not in planning and trying to control how my future will be, understanding that I don't have so many things in my hands. And the only thing I have in my hands is my personal emotions and how I really think about myself in my life, and to really enjoy the journey, to enjoy the process, and to understand as well that real success starts within me and around me and in my family life. And this is one of the biggest lessons for me of 2019. And my question regarding the last question, what comes next, is what is now really important for me right here, right now? What does really matter? And I remember that this was in the one of the biggest lesson I took out from one of the seminars I did this year, in the Search Inside Yourself seminar, which was amazing. That the question, what is really important right here, right now? What does really matter? And seeing that we're almost 2 weeks, we're closing 2019 officially, I am using this to really understand, to understand this whole review as in a very bigger perspective. And why am I sharing this with you? I think that it is about, right now I'm in a moment of my life to really share things out of my soul, and to share things full of authenticity and vulnerability as well, but as well to show you how my reality looks like, and to say that I have my doubts, I have my challenges, and yes, I am as well pretty afraid sometimes. and that this is exactly all these challenges, and how to respond to them is part of the true growing process and the true personal development process. And with these words, I want to thank you all so much, so much, for appreciating my work, and as well for believing in me. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to continue sharing this journey with you next year, to grow together, and to accompany us on our own individual and authentic path, and to accompany us towards or through our challenges, towards our goals, and to unite us in the more human way. Because since I understood that I am because you are, that I am because we are, I understood that I don't want to run super fast to get alone on this goal. I want to enjoy this path, and I want to go much further than I can even imagine right now, going together with you, going in company, walking together. And this is my closing of this, that one of my biggest wishes as well with my community, with my Creators Connection community I created, is to connect us, to be able to create, to be able to connect us with like-minded people, to be able to contribute with our own authentic gifts to an amazing 2020. And therefore become part of this community. You're super invited. Check out the link in the show notes and enjoy the very present moment. Enjoy a time of reflection to close this year. And I am closing it in profound gratitude for my life, for all the challenges, for my beautiful husband who is the column in this whole journey, for my family, and for all the people who are supporting me to become every day my higher self, the best version of myself, and to believe in myself, to believe that I can be the light. I can be a light. It's not only for in my surrounding, but as well for the world. And this is exactly what I want to share with you. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, to really light up this world. And that's why as well this podcast, The Creator's Light, to really to create the light within you, to connect you with the light around you, and to contribute with your light to the world. Thank you so much for existing. Have an amazing closing of 2019, and hear you very soon. Bye for now.